Fellow Toastmasters, I found out when I was 12 years old that my family was not really a democracy. Pretty much what my mom and dad said, we did. They decided at one point that they wanted to go camping. Now this was not, oh, let's go camping in a few months. This was like, let's go camping this weekend. It was a long weekend. It was spring here. Well, spring everywhere, but it was spring. It was getting a little bit warm, so we decided to go to the coast to go camping. It was my mom, my dad, my brother, and myself. So we pack everything in the car. We load everybody up. We take off for California. We just pass into the state of California, go across the border, go across the Colorado River, and my dad, from the front seat, asks my brother, "Hey, Richard, you did put the tent poles in the car, didn't you?" At which time my brother replied, "No, I thought you did." Now, I am not an engineer like many in this room, but I do understand the concept of a tent pole. It holds the tent up. So I'm figuring at this point, okay, great. We're going to go to a hotel. We're not going to go camping. No, my friends. My brother says to my dad, "Well, we got some rope in the car. I'll just tie the tent into the limbs of the trees and they'll be okay." It looked like one of those modern paintings where people's heads are over here and legs are over. It was really kind of scary. I swear the squirrels were laughing at us and our tent. But we put it up. We made do. We were up in Lake Arrowhead. It was beautiful. It's really nice up there. A little cool, roasted marshmallows. It was great. It was a fun night. So we went to bed in our tent in our little cozy sleeping bags. About 5 o'clock in the morning, my mom yells, "Everybody get up, but don't get up real fast." Okay. It seemed like during the night it had snowed, and so our cute little lucky tent was now very heavy with snowpack on it. And hear all this crackling sound. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, darn, something's going to happen. So we get dressed, we get out of the tent. No sooner do we get out of that tent than you hear crash, boom, tent, limbs, tree, snow, with a sprinkling of leaves on the top. Everything had collapsed. And it was so cold. We're coming from Arizona in the spring. We didn't have cold weather gear on. It was so cold, my friends. So that was one of my first experiences with camping, with the camping experience. Let me give you 2 other experiences with our camping to explain why it's all in the setup. About a year later, we decided we're going to go for the whole summer. We're going to go up the west here, across Canada, back Midwest, back here, big circle. So we leave, we go up to Yellowstone. Beautiful, beautiful Yellowstone. I hope you've all been there. If you haven't, you have to go. We go into our campsite. Now, camping at Yellowstone at the time, it's sort of like camping in a subdivision, because you got hundreds of people, tent. I mean, it's crowded. It's not like up there in the rustic camping. So we are setting up our camp. We've gotten pretty good at this time. We've gotten a system. The first part of our system is remembering the tent poles. We did remember the tent poles this time. So my job in setting up the camp was to hold the tent pole where my dad puts the stake in the ground. So here I am holding up the tent pole, doing my job. And I'm looking around at all the people. And I look over at our car. Dad? What? No. Dad, there's a bear in the trunk of our car. There was a bear in the trunk of our car.
Wow.
Dad, he's eating our lunch. This big fat bear was sitting in the trunk of the car on his rump with his little feet sticking out the back, eating, I kid you not, bear claws. Licking his little bare feet. He was happy. This bear was in nirvana. He liked this car. How that bear snuck into our car without all these people seeing was amazing. But he was happy. The guy in the camp across from us says, well, why don't you just shoo him away? Come shoo. Come on and shoo all you want. So we let the bear have his lunch. He finally figured out how to get out of the car and really waddled away. I did not know this until sometime later, but my dad said during the evening that night, evidently he went and got his friends. He said, forget about the berries and the stuff in the forest. I found the place to eat. So he was bringing all his friends back, but they went off. That was my second. Now, for my last experience of it's all in the setup, think of dark. Now, just the darkest thing you can ever think of. Then you have to add dark to it. And then you have to add a foghorn. We were in eastern Canada, Prince Edward Island. I don't know if any of you know where Prince Edward Island is, but the next thing east to Prince Edward Island is Ireland itself. There's a big ocean in between. It was midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were lost, of course. How you get lost on this little tiny island, I don't know, but we were. We finally find the campsite, midnight. We're setting up the camp. Ding, 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 ding. And this couple in this tent a few feet away were yelling at us in French. I don't speak French, but I'm pretty sure they weren't inviting us for beignets in the morning. You know how some people set up their tent to look out over the ocean? We evidently set up our tent in the ocean. And high tide was coming in. We tore down that tent so fast you couldn't believe it. The rest of the summer is a blur. All I know is that our next camping experience was in a Winnebago, which is a whole different story. Mr. Toastmaster.